What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. The last part of the scenario was pretty popular, and I said it would be a two-part, and as you could probably guess by the title, I kept my word. Can't really say the same for some other series, but whatever. Last time, well, it's in the title, we saw what happened if Vegeta got Ultra Instinct too. Of course, this gave Universe 7 an extra boost during the Tournament of Power, which they were going to win anyways. However, the next arcs are more affected. The Broly movie and the beginning of the Moro arc were very different. Be sure to check it out. I'll have it linked above because all the context is there. Since we do it with every video, let's set another like goal. I guess 3,000 this time. Yeah, that sounds good. If we hit that, I'll continue with another part into the Granola arc, which will be probably finished in like 2 years, so it's a pretty long way off, but still. I'll see you in 2023 with another part. Anyways, let's pick up from here. The last part ended off with something really interesting. 7-3 came to Earth, and the person that he actually targeted was Broly, grabbing onto his neck. This is obviously going to cause some issues. 7-3 getting the powers of the most powerful person on Earth right now? Especially someone as uncontrollable as Broly. That'll definitely cause some issues. 7-3 notices that this power is pretty strong, and immediately he begins fighting the Saiyan. So what would 7-3 actually get out of this? Well, when he copies people's powers, he gets their strength. So in terms of raw power, he would be even with Broly at this point. But besides just their moves, he gets all of their abilities too. For example, when he grabbed Piccolo, he got Piccolo's regeneration. And you know what one of Broly's abilities is? Growing stronger really quickly, especially with anger. 7-3 is pretty calm right now, but as he fights, he grows at the same rate as Broly does. But as for Broly, he's the opposite of calm. He's starting to get annoyed, with that annoyance eventually turning into actual anger. Piccolo jumps in trying to help. But really, there's not too much they can do against 7-3. But Broly keeps on going anyways. And Piccolo realizes there may be an issue. He tries to calm Broly down, noticing that he's getting angrier and angrier. And if it gets to a certain point, it's going to be uncontrollable and he'll be too far gone. He's suddenly surrounded by a green glow, going into his wrathful state. He immediately gets an upper hand on 7-3, shocking the android. He knew Broly was strong, but nothing like this. But 7-3 starts to feel the same thing. He starts to feel that same rage that Broly has. And while this would be useful for power, he notices something worrying. Broly is starting to get uncontrollable. And if 7-3 gets uncontrollable, that could be bad. Broly begins attacking, dealing some serious damage. 7-3 needs to think quickly. He could either keep using Broly's power and get stronger at the cost of losing his sanity, or he could switch to something else, something much more potent. He decides to do that. It's the smarter choice and possibly the stronger choice. Broly shouts, launching a massive mouth blast at 7-3. But instead of exploding, the mouth blast instantly disappears. 7-3 is revealed there, with Moro showing in his gem. He's now switched to using Moro's powers. Suddenly, Broly snaps back to reality, getting some of his sanity back. But he also feels weaker. 7-3 has started stealing more of his energy. But Broly notices something weird. He kinda lost all memories of transforming into this state. But now, he's actually conscious. He's in the wrathful state but actually feels like he has some sort of control. Sure, some of his ki did get sapped by 7-3, making the android himself stronger. But as for Broly, it had an unintended side effect. Instead of that power overflowing to a point where it took control of him, it's like 7-3 trimming the fat for him. With Broly now not berserk, he goes to attack the android once more. And 7-3 is surprised. Even though he took some of his energy, this guy is still strong. And even after absorbing the energy using Moro's power, Broly still seems to have an upper hand. Knowing this guy may get stronger if he keeps on fighting, Piccolo tells Broly to end this as quick as possible, but not with ki attacks. Broly focuses on only using melee attacks, hitting 7-3 with powerful punches and kicks, basically stunning the android. Since he didn't get Piccolo's powers here, he doesn't regenerate from this either. Every attack he receives just injures him more. Broly grabs 7-3 by the head, slamming him into the ground, jumping up and quickly propelling himself back down as he kicks the android. He lifts 7-3 up once more, and then with his other hand, he charges a small blast that he brings right to 7-3's torso, with energy erupting out the other side. Weakly, 7-3 stands up. He screams and charges at Broly, but before he reaches the Saiyan, his head falls off. Krillin threw a Kienzan at him, landing the final blow, with Broly breaking the android's head so he's finally gone for good. Broly then calms down, going back into base. Sheila and Lemo rush over to see if he's okay, with Piccolo saying that he's fine. Actually, it seems like he got somewhat of a control over his power. This would be pretty good going forward, but he doesn't know if it was just temporary, or if it's something more promising. All they know though is that they defended Earth this time, but it won't be the last time they'll need to do this. They know by now that Moro will come again in 2 months, waiting to see if they can get any more energy. Until then, they have all the time they need to train and prepare. So, everyone on Earth begins that. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta are still doing their training. They do want to intercept Moro by this point, thinking that they can defeat him now. Not only that, but they know Earth is in danger and they'll be needed there to help. Luckily though, it seems like Earth is okay now, with some surprising help from Broly. They never really expected him to do that job. He still seemed pretty rusty, but whatever, this is obviously a welcome surprise. As for them, they're still working towards Ultra Instinct, at least a more complete version of it. Marius tells them it's better to wait instead of intercepting Moro now. They still need to train and still have a long way to go. But that doesn't mean they're not making progress. With the two of them in there, this makes training much more efficient. Obviously Marius is a big help too, but an extra training partner means an extra brain in there. The two can work together to improve themselves. Not to mention, with another training partner that helps them grow stronger. It's a win-win. It helps them get stronger in base, and may help them get to Ultra Instinct faster, with the two of them bouncing ideas off each other. By this point, they're able to use Omen at will, and they think this is good enough, but Marius tells them that's not the complete Ultra Instinct. The real Ultra Instinct is much more potent. Plus, there's a visual difference. It would have the white hair instead of the black hair. They didn't even realize this. They thought what they had was Ultra Instinct, but really they just had an incomplete version of it. It's going to be a bit tougher since neither of them access the true Ultra Instinct, just Omen. But soon enough, Marius expects them to use the full Ultra Instinct at will. This is a very good start though. 2 months pass. On Earth, training goes pretty much the same, besides the fact that Broly's now part of it. As for everyone else though, they grow at pretty much the same rate. If not a little faster since Broly's there, meaning another training partner. And funny enough, there's 2 other people helping to defend Earth. As honorary Galactic Patrol members, G-Lai and Lemo are there too. Although, their fighting skills aren't too great. But hey, they pride themselves on their marksmanship. So even if they don't have fancy key attacks or whatever, I mean they could always just try shooting Moro's crewmates. Regardless, they're there wanting to help. Jocko tells them that really they should be locked up since they are part of the Frieza Force. But that good skill shouldn't go to waste. They should consider being patrolmen. Moro's crew now arrives on Earth. But everyone's more than prepared. They've been training, and they've been expecting this. Especially now with the addition of Broly, fending off Moro's crew isn't too hard. Broly by now actually has a grip on his wrathful state, being able to use it at will, also making him the strongest person here. Pretty much everyone in Moro's crew is defeated, with the only remaining fighter being Saganbo. First, Broly goes to face him, and he is pretty strong, but Broly has a clear upper hand, at least until Moro steps in. He gives some of his energy to Saganbo, increasing his strength to new levels. He actually starts to get an upper hand on Broly. Broly starts feeling some of that anger again. He might need to actually let it out if he wants a chance in this fight. Even if he does lose control, it'll give him enough power to actually win. He thinks over his options, but before he can even decide, someone else steps in to help. He sees nothing but a blue blur as Saganbo disappears. And no, it wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog that came in, but it was someone with blue spiky hair. Vegeta is revealed to be there, in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Saganbo stands up, surprised to see a new fighter there. He tries to go and attack Vegeta, but then he's kicked away by someone else, another blue fighter. It's Goku. Once again, he gets up, lunging at the both of them, but each of them stick one hand out, and without even trying too hard, they each launch a blast at him, eliminating him instantly. Moro is glad to see that they're finally back, ascending onto the battlefield now ready to fight himself. Clearly they have gotten stronger. However, he doesn't feel it's enough to face him. Sure, Saganbo is tough, but he's not on the level of Moro. The magician gets ready, expecting to face both of them at once, with both of them in Super Saiyan Blue. And he does face both of them at once, but something's weird about them. They power up, but their hair doesn't turn blue. It stays the same black color, except it gets a little bit more flowy. He now sees what they're doing. Ultra Instinct, a technique of the gods. Interesting, so this is what they've been learning this whole time. Moro doesn't show it, but he is actually a bit concerned. Not just one fighter, but 2 of them using Ultra Instinct. Even individually they'd be really strong, but with 2 of them, Moro's gonna actually be cautious here. He's cocky and confident on the outside, but on the inside, he feels unsure as he goes in. Surprisingly, Vegeta's the only one to jump in and fight him at first. This may actually give him a chance. Moro grins. How stupid. They're both foolish enough to fight on their own. If they fought together, they would have stood a chance, but individually, there's no way they could win, at least in Moro's eyes. But this was actually done on purpose. They planned this to trip Moro up. They wanted to make it seem like they were overconfident, when really, they had some tricks up their sleeve. Moro thinks that he's at an advantage now, but really, they are. He focuses every attack on Vegeta, and then suddenly, Goku jumps into the fight too, which Moro didn't really expect. He thought the two would wait and take turns. But he fell right into their trap. They actually weren't being cocky. They were trying to get Moro to be cocky. Now he has an opening. Goku exploits that opening. This only creates more openings, which Vegeta exploits. Once again, the Ultra Instinct tag team is back in action. Moro knows he's in a corner. He's actually getting kinda desperate now. He sticks his hands out on each side, lifting them up as lava comes out of the ground, encapsulating himself in it. Goku and Vegeta dodge this attack, but after they do, they see a massive dome of lava where Moro was. Moro's trying to think of a plan. He created a barrier surrounded by this lava to try and help him, but he knows it won't hold for too long. The two of them can just burst through it at any time. Unsure of what to do, he clones himself, making at least a dozen other Moros. He launches a blast at the ground, burrowing underneath it, as the barrier then breaks from Vegeta launching a blast at him. Both Goku and Vegeta are pretty amused by this. Inside they see all the Moros, knowing that the magician is trying to trip them up. All the Moros jump up ready to attack, but Goku swings his arm, creating a giant wave of ki, with all the Moros vanishing as they're hit by it. Goku then looks at Vegeta, whose eyes are darting around. Vegeta then sticks a single hand out, launching a small blast that curves nearby, hitting the ground and then exploding with a great force. From this explosion, Moro was thrown out from the ground, with Goku grabbing Vegeta and teleporting the both of them over there. Did Moro really think that trick would work? He does know they could sense ki after all, right? Right now, they're near the other group of fighters, and even though Moro was caught, things are still going to his plan. He plans to take a hostage. He stretches an arm out, and suddenly Piccolo is dragged over to his location. He does the same with another hand, grabbing onto Krillin. He plans to use them as human shields. Goku and Vegeta are shocked by this, or at least they look shocked. They can tell Moro was getting really desperate, which means he's prone to slipping up, and of course it means he knows he's at a disadvantage. With Piccolo and Krillin in his hands, Moro jumps into the air, slowly flying backwards. He tells Goku and Vegeta to back off, or he'll kill these two, draining all of their energy in an instant. As Moro laughs, he suddenly feels a sharp pain in his hands. With two small blasts hitting them, Maris has jumped in, and with his marksmanship he shot him in both hands. For a good measure, Piccolo turns around and pokes him in the eyes too, blinding him. Krillin could have just blinded him, but I guess that is effective enough. Moro instinctively drops both of them and puts his hands on his eyes. Seems like Piccolo picked up a great trick from Goku, poking the opponent in their eyes. A classic and effective technique. Angered while his vision is coming back, Moro lunges towards them once more trying to grab them, also trying to drain their energy in the process. But before he grabs them, he feels pain in his shoulder, and then his other shoulder, and then all over his body. Goku and Vegeta are launching rapid punches at him, so fast that they're sent as compressed air blasts in Moro's direction, dealing damage and stunning him. The two practice this and they're ready. They were hoping that they'd have the complete version of Ultra Instinct by the time that this fight happened, but it seems like they didn't have enough time. It doesn't matter though because the strategy seems to be very effective, and the two get ready. Goku puts both of his hands out, surrounding Moro with a ring of energy as he's frozen in place. Inspired by Hit, Goku is using his Godbind technique, focusing all its energy and attention on Moro, trying to hold him in one spot. Vegeta powers up, launching more punches in his direction. They're launched at such a speed that Vegeta's arms can't even be seen. With Moro held in the air, Vegeta then jumps up, flying down with his elbow out as he hits Moro right in his snout, with Moro falling to the ground. He gets up, jumping back up ready to attack Vegeta, but he's then hit in the back by a powerful blast from Goku, leaving him open as he turns around, then being hit by Vegeta too. The two of them basically play Saiyan volleyball with him. Ultra Instinct makes volleyball pretty fun too, but of course, this is actually their way of trying to defeat him without using an energy attack, just because he can absorb that. With Moro stunned from all of these attacks, the two of them lunge at the magician together, with each landing a kick square in his face, knocking him clean out. And this is great because he can no longer steal energy. The two of them are ready to finish this. Back to back, the two begin charging blast, launching a Gallic Kamehameha in Moro's direction, wiping him off the face of the earth, claiming victory. The two then power down into base, glad to have been successful. They also congratulate Piccolo and Krillin for being so brave in that hostage situation. Piccolo smirks as Krillin nervously laughs. Yeah, Piccolo was pretty calm and collected, but Krillin definitely wasn't. He was terrified. It's a good thing Maris came in the nick of time to save them. And luckily he didn't need to use any of his angel powers, meaning he gets to stay here. Of course, Goku and Vegeta know by now that he's an angel, but they keep that a secret. There's no real reason for anyone else to know. The important thing is they won, and they're surprised to see how strong everyone on Earth is now. But still, they have a long way to go. Maris told them that they haven't completed Ultra Instinct yet, and they were hoping this fight would push them to the limits, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But the two of them are motivated. Vegeta wasn't too fond of Ultra Instinct at first, but now that he's had more practice with it and can use Ultra Instinct Omen at will, he decides that maybe it would be worth pursuing it. I mean, at this point he's invested so much time in it that he might as well. So the two of them aim to go further, hoping to get full control of this form soon enough. And with that, we'll leave this part off here for now. So, what did you guys think about this part and the scenario as a whole? I guess this is the ending here since there's not really much else to do. But hopefully we'll get to continue this soon. Leave any thoughts or suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's see if we can actually hit that like goal from the beginning of the video. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future videos like this one, or any other uploads that I have on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.